Hey partners, welcome back to the Go Show. This is your daily dose of crypto using my stories for your investment. My name is Albert Go. I have a show called The Go Show, and I also have a social impact validator called Go and Partners at the Coreum blockchain. And we are proud to be the first and only Filipino-initiated validator in the Coreum blockchain, and we are starting the year on a high note. We aim to be the leading #1 validator for Southeast Asia, and this is just the beginning because we aim high, we're ambitious, we want to make change, and we want to make Southeast Asia one of the regional capitals in the world for cryptocurrency. That is why today, the episode number 8 is entitled, What's Your Problem? Let's answer that. Now, come 2023, many of us started the year hoping that we will bounce back from the pandemic. We started to see the world opening up again for travel, for business. We heard from leaders that there won't be any more lockdowns. But as the year ended, you start to see that the problems of the world have not ended. We see poverty all around the world. Inflation has gone up. In the Philippines, the price of goods and services, including rice, has skyrocketed over 20%. And the man on the street still struggling because of the dire situation that they're in. Now, among all the problems of the war that is taking shape in the Middle East from the Israel and the Hamas conflict, we also have the conflict that is starting to emerge with the Houthi rebels and the conflict between the United States, Russia, and China and geopolitics. And this has spilled over to the increase in the prices of global trade of oil and other basic commodities. And the man on the street is feeling the pain. We see it every day. And this has actually been corroborated by the surveys, by actual data and facts, that last October, the self-rated poverty has shown that there is an increase of opinions of people that their situation in 2023 got worse despite the opening of the economy because of the end of the pandemic. So what is the problem that people are facing now? Is it because their salary is decreasing? Is it because the prices of goods are increasing? But they're working hard every day. They're going to the office every day. They're spending hours navigating and going through, waking up every day, traveling, spending money and hours with the transportation, going to the office, and then going back home, not having enough time for them to spend quality time with their family and most of all, their children, their loved ones. What is the problem that we are all facing today? We will tackle that in this episode. Now, let's focus on the money that you have on hand. Because those things that I tackled, the macroeconomic situation, the global conflict, the war that is possibly brewing up in the Middle East, are all uncontrollable factors. But the money that you have on hand, that is controllable. Your skills, your qualifications, your abilities, your desire every day is controllable. And that is what you need to focus on. And today, we will tackle what is controllable. The power is in your hands. This may sound controversial, but I do believe that money is not the fundamental problem. The fundamental problem is how we prioritize, how we expend the resources that we have. If we are earning a daily wage, a monthly wage, but still are in debt, the problem is us. And it's about how we expend our resources. And I believe it is a problem of priorities. Do we have priority problems or do we have money problems? I believe it is the former. It is about how We deal with the many options and decisions that we make every day, and that will help us tackle money as a tool so that we can become financially free, so that we can have more time, and so that we become happier in life. Look what is happening now. Because of online and the digitalization, everything seems to be easier for us to access. E-commerce has made it easier, more accessible. We are bombarded every day by advertisements on what to purchase, what to buy. We see clothes, we see entertainment. Everything is just with one click. We can actually purchase goods and services, even if it is something that we cannot personally afford currently. Buy now, pay later became not just a fad, but it actually became a habit for many people, especially here in the Philippines. I see it even in Korea. I see it in the United States. Why? Is it because of our loneliness? Is it because of our propensity to find ways to be happy, to feel secure? Is it because of peer pressure? Many reasons that are personal to us, but then it is not an excuse. We have to find ways to get out of this cycle. Now, instead of thinking of the 11, 22, 33, 7-11, 11-11, 12-12 super sale, why not be the person to sell? Why not be the investor? Be the person running the show. Instead of money going out of your pocket, find ways to make money enter your crypto wallet, enter your bank account, make your money grow for you. Be the business person. Be the change. Be inspired. That is possible when you actually surround yourself with the right people. That's one way of doing it, which we'll tackle in a future episode. But also for you to be watching this episode now is already, I believe, a step in the right direction, because this is the Go Show. This is the show that is for you so that you can go and make money and make a difference. Now, because of my personal advocacy, because of the Go Show and the focus on financial literacy, focus on how we can be financially free and financially empowered, I can come across as somebody who has a lot of resources, knowledge, and financial capacity. So that's why people would message me and tell me, Albert, can I borrow money from you? I'm having financial difficulty. Can you lend me this much? Because I have salaries of people that I need to pay, or I have debts that I need to worry about. But then this is precisely why I have this show, is because we need to prevent that kind of attitude. Like by giving money and actually giving you that reprieve of solving your current money problems, we're not fixing the real issue. The issue is not money, is your attitude towards money. And that's the reason why, first, I don't have the money. I'm focusing first on how I can make myself financially free, just like everyone is. But secondly is, if I dole out and help you, I am not helping you by giving money to pay your debts. I am only actually enabling you to ride the tide. And then the next month, you'll ask money from another person and another person and another person. That will not fix your problem. This show, we need to help each other. And this is a very genuine, open, and sincere show, because I also learn from the audience, just like you do. Last September, when I finally made that ultimate decision, that breakthrough moment of starting the Go and Partners Validator, I created a list of over 100 people that I wanted to approach. Many of them were family, friends, my classmates in grade school, high school, college, university, even in the workforce in the Philippines and Singapore. And I came across this one friend that I told him, he was one of my best friends in grade school and high school. And I told him that you may want to consider investing in Coreum because of the enterprise-grade blockchain, because it has smart contracts. This could be the next Ethereum. I gave him all the reasons why he should invest in Coreum. And also because I was looking at the charts at that point, I said, hey, it looks like at 7 cents. This is a great deal. Put in $1,000. I know you have your business. And by investing $1,000 at possibly at the bottom, you can actually continue to earn every month with the staking rewards, also by helping the Go and Partners social impact initiatives. But also, I saw it as an opportunity for me to give back because he was a good friend. When we were in high school, we would play billiards, we would go and play basketball, we would play PlayStation, and before it was even Sega Genesis, in the 90s. He was one of my best friends. So he actually did not listen to me. And fast forward, just last week, he told me, Albert, can I borrow $1,000 from you? You know what? I got so pissed at my friend and I pitied him and I said, I just call him, the name, just call him Michael for now. And I said, Michael, if you had invested last September, you would have been triple up by now. You would have gotten 3 times as much. From that $1,000, it would have been $3,000 and you could have taken out 2/3 of that and left that initial investment, and you wouldn't have needed to approach me today to actually borrow $1,000. The lesson to that is, of course, investments take a lot of risk-taking, a lot of foresight, a lot of your ability to let go of current expenditures and invest in something that you don't see yet in the future. But I see it also as a lot of people's propensity of just thinking of short term. And with that person who I spoke to, my friend, he was my best friend. What do you think? Did I lend him the money or not? I gave him the brotherly love, the tough love. And just like the last episode, I said, learn to say no. I said no. And I said it not because I didn't want to help him, because I believe this is the only way that he will learn his lesson. When you say no, you actually not just protect yourself, but you're also helping your friend. And if you're listening to me right now, don't give just because of pity. When you love somebody, do it for the right reasons. And for me, I said no because this is something that hurts him, but this is his way of learning his lesson. Are we still friends? Yes, because he feels the love, not the no, not the rejection. And that's why people appreciate me as a friend, because I am genuine. And I will tell you how I feel, no matter how difficult it is for you. And me personally, as the host of the Go Show, I might sound redundant, I might sound like a broken record, but I started the Go and Partners Social Impact Validator because my priority is to end poverty, end discrimination, end violence, and end hunger. Because no one can deny that this is the core problems that the world is facing today. Inequality is still at the forefront of everything that we're seeing today. And we need to empower those at the bottom so that we can create the level playing field. And I believe that by being a validator, we can actually be the change and entrust a new world that is of equal level playing field. If there is going to be a hard reset, I want to be part of this new blockchain. If there is going to be a new financial system that can provide balance to this world, I want to be part of that blockchain. And I do believe that Coreum could be one of the blockchains that can help provide equality in this world. And we will continue to talk about that in future episodes of the Go Show. But today, I want to focus on 3 major points. Let's focus on the first, which I believe is the most difficult. It's about unlearning. Unlearning about the programming that was instilled upon us from childhood. Many of it was passed on to us by our parents. Many of them are learned through the educational system, which I believe could be detrimental for us to go out of this poverty cycle. And for us to be able to break through that point, we'll talk about, as what was defined by Robert Kiyosaki, assets is bringing money to your pocket. Liabilities is taking money away from your pocket. It's as simple as that. We all have our dreams. I want to have my own house. Americans want to have their own house. Filipinos want to have their own house. Now ask yourself that question. Is your house an asset or a liability? Now, for me, I've invested in a property that took more than 5 years. Until now, I'm paying for that property and a condominium. My intention at first was to be able to live in that property, but then I've also shifted my focus on actually having that property rented out, eventually also wanting to sell that property at 4 times its value. And I do believe that in perfect market conditions, that is my selling point, where I can invest in that property and cash out at 4 times the value that I bought that property at 8 years ago. Now, I realized this, that from 8 years ago, that property did not change. But what changed is my mindset. From wanting to earn a property, from a liability that I was paying throughout the years, I changed my focus on how I could make that property give me 4 times as much in my pocket. And I believe that is going to happen. Just like the example that I gave you a while ago about the 11/11 super sale, instead of becoming a buyer of a product, you be the salesperson. This example for me, it's from a person who bought that property. Now I am selling that property. The second unlearning, and this might speak to everyone who's listening right now, is about the status quo. Many of us were taught in the school system by our parents, by our grandparents, that the way to become successful is to study hard, go to school, get good grades, go to a university, finish the university with honors, to work in a high-paying job, to get a job at a multinational corporation, to get hired and promoted every 2 years. You get a pay raise of 10-20% so that you can travel and get hired by a bigger regional position in Singapore, in the United States, in London, in every corner of the world, so that by 60 years old, you can come back to buy your house, to build your farm, and to retire and enjoy the next 10 years of your life before you get cancer and start getting sick. Is that the life that you and I were destined to have? Or is there other opportunities for us to actually be successful? That narrative that I just described, that's me. That was my preconceived notion of what success is all about. Stepping out into the real world as a fresh graduate, it was like a baptism of fire, because along the way, it's not, a linear path for most of us. I had to deal with it the hard way. But in the process, I discovered the path that is least traveled. You can see it in my resume. You could see in the LinkedIn profile, if you search me, of where I went from working in banking and finance to marketing, all the way I moved to treasury and sales. And then I moved to Singapore looking for greener pastures as I started to work in social impact fundraising and also in corporate affairs in nonprofit organizations. The initial path that I thought when I first entered the workforce was for me to become the highest level in a corporation, but I ended up creating my corporation, becoming an entrepreneur, mixing my passion of helping people for social impact and turning it into a business. That was not in any of my original plans, but I learned along the way. Every day I learned from people that I encounter, people that I network with. Now, the ultimate statement here and my main takeaway is that my education actually started when I graduated from the university. It is a lifelong journey that continues until this day. Until I die, I will learn. The second lesson in prioritization is about saving. When I think about saving, I actually think of two ways of saving. The first way of saving is taking advantage of discounts and promotions. For Americans, you would wait for the Black Friday sale or your Christmas sale or your Memorial Day sale. During that sale, you would wait for your credit card promos and then buy a lot of the supplies of the usual things that you spend on, whether it's your clothing, your vitamins, your day-to-day needs. I do that a lot, and a lot of Asians are also good at that. We see it as a sport to be able to save on these discounts. However, there's another way of saving, and the second way of saving is about putting money in your bank. A portion of our salary, of our business profits, we would always set aside a budget that we would put in the bank. Whether we put it in a time deposit, which is very low now, or just put it in a bank to ensure that we can see it in the balance. That's the second way of saving. But did you actually know that there are three main goals of saving? And that is what we want to discuss now. The first purpose of saving is for us to be able to spend for ourselves. We want to spend on the things that matters to us, whether it's our essentials or our wants. Second purpose of saving is about emergencies. Never forget that life might throw you lemons. You might lose your job one day. You wake up, your business is in trouble. You're handed a termination letter. Do you have 6 months, 4 months, or even just 3 months worth of salary in your bank account? Most people live from paycheck to paycheck, and because they have short-term thinking, it's important for us to have emergency funds. Third, saving is not enough. You have to make your money grow. If you have mastered the art of saving, the first 2 points, funding for the things that matter to you, funding for emergencies, what about making your money work for you? That is the third, and I believe most important skill and quality of many, if not all, billionaires is because they know how to make their money work for them. And it's about saving for the purpose of investing. The money that you save on discounts, the money that you have put in the bank account, you need to divide it into 3. Saving for what you want to spend, saving for emergencies, and lastly is saving to make money grow, saving for investing. That's what I said. But is that what I do? Which leads me to the last and final point. It's about matching our words with our actions. It's about walking the talk. Now, what do I do to grow my money? You can watch episode 3, My Way to Become a Billionaire, plus my Go and Partners Social Impact Coreum Validator. So what's the latest now with the Go and Partners Validator? Since we started last September from 49th to 50th position, now we are 26th at the rankings. There are over 64 validators, and Go and Partners is on a roll now. We're trying to make it to the playoffs. We're trying to make it at one of the seeding rounds. And right now, there are over 114 delegators from over 50 countries. And these are people who are staking, supporting our initiatives to end poverty, end violence, end discrimination, and end hunger. And today, I'm very happy to say that the word is now spreading. We're getting a lot of Filipinos, a lot of supporters, migrant workers from different parts of the world. Many of them are Asians that are supporting us every day because they see that Go and Partners has a distinct mission that resonates with their personal missions. They want to see that change, and they can see that this validator would be able to fund this initiative. And in fact, I'm very happy to say that we are in talks with also the OPLE Policy Center, and we're trying to help this nonprofit organization in their mission to be able to help these women who are rescued from human trafficking, a lot of them 16, 25 years old. We are going to help them, and by the end of the year, we have pledged to continue to support their initiatives. And today, I'm very happy to say that we will not stop until we see the Filipinos coming back home in the Philippines. And this is just the beginning. Now, what's your problem? Money? Now you are the solution. Invest in the Go and Partners Social Impact Validator. Now, I am very excited to bring you to the second part of our topic of What's Your Problem? Our episode 9. See you on our next video.